I get it. Buying computer components can be difficult, especially when you're considering the used market. You end up going back and forth between eBay, Amazon, Newegg, AliExpress, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Mercari, Craigslist, and the list goes on, trying to find the best deals. The whole thing can be kind of a nightmare. So I've heard you cry out looking for a simpler solution. So today, I present to you a $500 budget gaming PC that is both aesthetically pleasing and incredibly powerful, but every single component has been purchased on Amazon.com. Now, don't think this was as simple as going to the top seller list and adding all to cart. There are some tips and tricks here and there I need to share with you to save the most amount of money and still buy everything on Amazon. So let's go over everything you'll need and why it's all awesome right after this video sponsor.
When you install Windows on your Steam Deck or any other PC for that matter, you're going to need it activated to unlock all the settings. Why spend a ton of money for a code when you can use the sponsor of today's video, SCD Key? You can purchase Windows keys at a large discount, and to get 25% off your order, use code JASON, that's JASON, to get 25% off your order. After purchasing, you'll get your code pretty much instantly and be able to unlock your computer's full potential. And remember that all Windows 10 Pro users can upgrade to Windows 11 for free at any time in the future using these keys. Just take your code, go to your Windows activation menu, pop it in, and boom. Windows is activated, and you should be on your way. Thanks to SCD Key.
As always, a quick disclaimer, all of these products were purchased on Amazon.com in the USA. All prices mentioned are going to be pre-tax because taxes are different all over the world, so there's no real point in adding them here. And I cannot control the price that vendors charge for their goods. I can only share what I paid for them. Sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down. Just keep your eyes peeled out for sales and follow the tips in this video to try to get the best deals you can. And please don't use this video as a one-to-one guide. Use it as more of a jumping off point or to get some ideas for your next budget gaming rig. Now, before talking about the actual components, I want to very briefly go over how Amazon.com works and how to get the best deals on it. Amazon is an open marketplace, meaning there are many different sellers selling their products. Imagine a farmer's market where every seller has their own table of goods and Amazon is the one who set up the farmer's market. And just like at farmers markets, many different sellers are able to sell the exact same item. This table might sell tomatoes, and that table might also sell tomatoes. Except there's one problem. Amazon, the people who set up the farmers market, are also selling tomatoes at their own farmers market. Now, when buying on Amazon, the first option you should always choose to purchase from should be Amazon, and not a third party. If there's anything wrong with the item, Amazon will very easily accept a free return with basically no questions asked. But if you end up using a third party, you're just more likely to run into issues, as well as quality control and incorrect listing descriptions. So when you are purchasing on the site, look down here and make sure it says sold by Amazon.com and shipped by Amazon.com. There's also going to be more options on a lot of products if you click down here where it says save with used. And you can see the product is usually lower priced, sometimes substantially. Now, this product is sold by Amazon Resale, previously known as Amazon Warehouse, which is basically Amazon reselling products that have been returned to them at a pretty heavy discount. Now, when they say used, they don't mean these products have been in someone's computer for a year. They mean this product was opened, it was possibly used, and it was returned within 30 days, and after inspection, was put back on sale. Depending on the condition you see, you might get a different quality of product. But Amazon states they have been tested and all of the products are confirmed that they are working. And in my experience, when Amazon says a technology item is acceptable or in good condition instead of like new or excellent, that often means that the box is slightly damaged or the inside is missing some materials that don't really matter. Like maybe a manual is missing or a motherboard screw or something. Sometimes they say exactly what is wrong with the item and sometimes they don't. Just know that as long as it's sold by Amazon Resale, it's totally safe to purchase these items from the website as they have the exact same return policy as any other item sold by Amazon. I buy stuff from Amazon Resale all the time, and I'd say 90% of the time, the only thing wrong with it is the box looks a little scuffed, but the item is otherwise unused. This is a great way to save a lot of money on some components and still have the peace of mind of Amazon returns. And while buying from third-party vendors that aren't Amazon or Amazon Resale isn't inherently bad, there is a lot more nuance into making sure you A, don't get scammed, and B, don't have to deal with someone who's not Amazon. So this video will purely focus on Amazon and Amazon Resale for simplicity's sake. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the computer components. The case is one I've used on this channel before, but I just can't quit it. This is the BitPhoenix Nova Mesh. It's a budget MATX case for sure, but it doesn't have a cheap budget feeling. It has tons of airflow, tempered glass side panel, acceptable room for cable management, and comes pre-installed with 3 ARGB fans and an included fan controller with room for more fans you may want to add down the line. There's also enough room inside the chassis for longer graphics cards, despite the smaller MATX form factor. And it only costs $60. And that's not like the sale price, it's that price year round. I build in this case all the time because I just really like it. Now don't get me wrong, it's not perfect. It's still clear that this isn't a premium case or anything, but you get some features thrown in that you wouldn't expect at this price range, and I really appreciate that. And for the power supply, there aren't too many options that fit in this budget on Amazon that aren't fire hazards, but one of the power supplies I really like is the 600 watt Apivia Prestige. It's an attractive gold rated power supply that has everything you need at this budget, and it's a great C on the PSU tier list. This power supply otherwise is affordable, safe, and I highly recommend it. Now when it comes to motherboards, I pretty much always buy them on Amazon resale for a massive discount, especially higher end motherboards. You can find some of the top tier motherboards that MSRP for like $250 be brought down to $100 shipped to your door. And they show up looking pretty much brand new. It's a great value, so we obviously utilized it to get the motherboard for this build today. This is the Asus Prime B450M A2, and sure, the box has seen better days. Everything else inside was brand spanking new, and the motherboard performed amazingly. It's built on the AM4 chipset, meaning we can upgrade to basically any AM4 processor we want down the line when we are ready to upgrade the PC. So even a 5800 X3D would work just fine in here. 4 DIMM slots for easy RAM expansion, 4-pin RGB header that is usually missing on cheaper motherboards, BIOS flashback for easy flashing in the future, and we even get a single PCIe Gen 3 NVMe slot for super fast storage. Just an all-around great motherboard with a ton of features, and I was able to pick this up for only $52 on Amazon resale. It's an otherwise pretty affordable motherboard, being able to be purchased brand new for only $73. Now the CPU I paired with this is the Ryzen 5 5500. It's an entry-level CPU in the 5000 series, but it still really packs a punch despite the low cost. The processor comes with 6 cores, 12 threads, and can boost up to 4.2 GHz. It's a great value CPU when paired with any entry-level or mid-range graphics card. Just don't try to put an RTX 4090 on it or you might be a little disappointed. And luckily it comes with the Ryzen stock cooler when you buy it from Amazon, so that saves us a little money from having to buy an aftermarket cooler. And don't worry, the stock cooler is more than enough for this processor, and it won't overheat or thermal throttle or anything. I really tried to squeeze in the next tier CPU in this budget PC, the Ryzen 5 5600, but it was just a little out of our budget. But if I had a little more money, I'd probably go with that one. Luckily, I was able to pick up the 5500 on Amazon resale as well for only $65, which is a fantastic bargain considering it's a full-blown modern AM4 CPU, and it even comes with a cooler. So memory has a low price barrier. The price for brand new or even used DDR4 RAM can only go so low. So don't overthink your RAM decisions and just pick something that has good reviews, doesn't look silly, and has the speeds and capacity that you desire. This is the Timetech Pinnacle Conduit Set, which can be grabbed from Amazon brand new for only $30. It's a simple all-black heatsink design, 2 8GB sticks totaling out to 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM and clocking in at 3200 megatransfers per second. You know, not much else to say. It's RAM, it's black, it's cheap. I can't imagine much RAM breaking the $30 price barrier for a while, so this is as good as it gets for now. 16 gigs is enough for all of our gaming needs, but if I was building this as an all-around PC for maybe more content creation, streaming, or productivity, I would probably bump that 16 gigs up to 32. Storage is in a weird place right now as SSDs across the board are all way more expensive than they were just a year ago. But hey, you can't wait forever to buy a gaming PC, so just go ahead and pick up this 500 gig Crucial P3 Plus. Crucial is a very well-known brand and has some amazing reliability when it comes to their SSD game. And the P3 Plus is a Gen 4 NVMe drive that will allow us to get speeds up to 5,000 megabytes per second, which of course won't help our gaming performance, but it will help when using the computer otherwise be snappy and quick. This isn't the fastest drive out there, but for the price, I think the reliability and the speed of this drive is perfect for this budget build and will last for years to come. And when the SSD prices come back down to earth in the future, feel free to upgrade this SSD to something like a 2TB or maybe even add a spinning hard drive if you want to in the meantime. Now, the motherboard we chose can only support speeds up to Gen 3, so we won't be able to utilize the full speed of our Gen 4 drive, but finding a Gen 3 SSD is only like $5 cheaper. So I feel like spending the $5 now to get a better SSD makes more sense in the long run. But as always, feel free to get whatever storage you want. Budget brand new graphics cards is kind of an oxymoron these days, isn't it? With Nvidia's cheapest graphics card released in the last 2 years is still over $300. There are some good options out there in our budget, mostly from Intel actually. The Arc A580 or the A750 when it's on sale are both two great cards that would work in this budget and perform fairly well. But I'm still too afraid to put an Intel GPU in a video, so I went with another fantastic card. This is the RX 6650 XT. Not its popular variant released from AMD's last generation of cards, but it has some really fantastic FPS for its price range. The 6650 XT has 8 gigs of VRAM, and performance seems to be on par or better than the RTX 3060. Well, just without ray tracing, less VRAM, no NVENC encoder, but that's besides the point. You can buy this card brand new on Amazon for around $230 when it's not on sale, or you can get it on Amazon resale like I did for only $196. And obviously guys, the price on GPUs aren't going to compare to the used market. If you go out and find a used card, you will get a much better deal, I'm sure of it. But buying from Amazon does still have advantages. Take buying used from eBay as an example. Sure, you do get that eBay guarantee, but when you have to deal with an unresponsive or downright aggressive seller who disagrees that their graphics card was a dud, it can be really stressful to get them to play ball. And there is always the chance they even try to scam and, drag you around in circles for days or even weeks. On Amazon, if this graphics card doesn't work, I can simply return it the next day and get a refund really quickly. Basically, no questions asked. That kind of peace of mind and the ultra high availability with any graphics card available at any time can be really meaningful to a lot of people. So for less than $200, I think the 6650 XT is a great deal and will actually pump out way more FPS than you are expecting. It's a totally underrated card, even in 1440p. All right, let's get this PC assembled and do some quick benchmarks to check out the performance of this awesome budget gaming rig. Impressive, right? And it was all purchased on Amazon. If you utilize Amazon Resale and keep an eye out for good sales, you don't have to skulk around Facebook Marketplace and meet up in a Kohl's parking lot to pick up a graphics card from a guy who's driving a 1985 El Camino. And when he pulls up and opens the door, a bunch of beer cans come out of his car and you start to feel afraid for your life, but you really want the graphics card, so you kind of just swallow your pride and you do your best to get through it. But then he starts smoking in front of you and you're like, did he smoke next to his PC? Is this GPU going to stink up my house? Was he drinking those cans before he got here? Yeah, so you don't have to do any of that. It's just on Amazon. The PC looks great. It performs wonderfully, and it's going to look great on your desk. If you want to pick up any of these components and build it yourself, be sure to check out the links in the video description below. And if you don't quite have the budget to build a $500 PC right now, and you're still looking for something a little cheaper, you can check out one of these two videos here where we build out slightly cheaper gaming PCs, but don't skimp on the performance or the aesthetics. My name's Jason. Thanks for watching.